So guys, hey guys, it's Tamika Lynn. I hope you're having a fabulous day. If you're new here, thank you for joining, and if you're returning, I appreciate you coming back. So today's video, we're gonna have a bit of story time, and we are going to talk about my very first Louis Vuitton purchase. This baby is 17 years old. Yes. My love for Louis Vuitton started 17 years ago. I was quite younger then, and it was a spur of the moment buy, and from that point forward, I just absolutely love the brand. So stick around to hear much more. People always have said I have an old soul. So one of my favorite shows of all time is Golden Girls, and the mom, Sophia, whenever she was telling a story, she would always start out by saying, "Picture this." So I'm going to tell you guys, picture this. We're walking through the mall one day, and we're talking about 17 years ago. I was with one of my really close friends. And so we went to the mall, no intentions on anything, just shopping, right? So at the time, our local mall did not have a standalone Louis Vuitton boutique in my hometown. Now they do, but years ago, it was inside of a Saks Fifth Avenue, inside of the mall that, we had several years ago. Now it's in a totally new location or what have you, but we'll get to that point. But anyway, so we're at the mall, just going in different stores, and we happen to walk in Saks. And at the Saks years ago, the Louis Vuitton store was very close to the entrance, like the mall entrance. And so we just casually walked in there, and no intentions on purchasing anything. I had never been inside of a Louis Vuitton store, had never been into like a luxury store of that caliber before. So I was very familiar with Coach and Dooney and Burke, and those were the bags that I carried. But I had never been in like a Louis Vuitton or a Gucci, Fendi, none of those stores like that. So anyways, we walk into the Louis Vuitton that's in the Saks Fifth Avenue, and we're, just browsing. I remember the salesperson being so sweet. Just picture like these young people, walking in the store. But anyways, so we are just talking. I love to talk. And I remember saying, like, what do you have that's brand new? So tell me a little bit about, your inventory. What do you have that's brand new? Can I see it? I've never been in here before, yada, yada, yada. So I remember the sales associate saying that there was a purse that was just released and that, they would love to show it to us. So she went like behind this door. The little space for Louis Vuitton wasn't very big at all. They probably had maybe 2 displays, maybe 3 displays, like a glass, display, and there were a couple of purses, on the walls, but it was not a big space by any means. It was just like a cutout, like what you would see in a department store. So there was like a door, and she went behind the door and talked to somebody, and then she came back, and I remember her pulling open one of the drawers that was inside of these glass cases. I can't remember if it was 2 or 3. I want to say it was 3, like almost like a square, a 3-sided square. So she pulled out this bag and came over. Now at the time, the bags did not look how they look today. The font was a little different, and the color was a little different. They were like a darker yellowish color. So she brought over the bag, right? And so she's like, "This is our new purse. It's called the Popping Court Haute, like Haute, Haute. And it was brand new. She was like, feel free to try it on. There's a mirror over there, yada, yada, yada. So I'm looking at this purse. I'm like, oh my God. And I can't find my receipt. I honestly don't know where that receipt is. Back then, the way I took care of my bag is totally different than how I take care of my purses now. So, and you'll see as we get further into this video, but so I don't know where the receipt is, but I want to say I paid like $800. It was either like $700 or $800 for the bag. I tried to Google it to see how much it was back in 2005, and I could not find it online. Most of the stuff I found was like the resale value. So this purse is definitely on the pre-love market. And I saw it ranging from like $350, which was in more so condition of a bag that was going to be, you know, used for other things. So a lot of people will take the leather from Louis Vuitton and like upcycle it, and they'll make like coin pouches and, you know, stuff like that. So I saw them ranging anywhere from $300 to $2,200. And I don't know who's paying $2,200 for a vintage bag, but to each his own. But anyway, so I want to say it was maybe I don't think it was 900. I want to say it was around the $800 mark. So I get this bag and I'm just looking at it. I'm just like, oh my God, you know, super excited, holding a Louis Vuitton in my hand for the very first time. Mind you, I mean, I didn't know anyone personally who had a Louis Vuitton. I mean, none of my friends, no one. Maybe some of my, you know, classmates, their parents might have had one. I don't know, but I had never seen one to the point of like actually touching it, right? So I'm looking at this purse. I'm like, oh my God, this is just, I'm so giddy, right? So imagine this little, you know, much younger girl in the store for the very first time holding this purse, just like giddy. My smile was bigger than it is now. So just super giddy, right? And so the lady's like, you know, feel free if you're interested in purchasing it, you know, we take all major credit cards, blah, blah, blah. So I'm consulting with my friend, like, do you think we should get it? You know, should I get it? You know, blah, blah, blah. So I decide to get it, right? So I get this purse and she takes it back and she boxes it up so nicely. Back then, Louis Vuitton was using this dark brown box. I mean, very dark brown box. And it was, I guess you could say, and this is the Toiletry 26. I guess you could say the brown was like the color of the back of the monogram. So this dark brown. And then the Louis Vuitton lettering was a even darker brown, but it was like a shiny finish to it. And it said Louis Vuitton on the bag. So dark brown bag, Louis Vuitton was written on it in a brown as well. So she comes out, you know, with this beautiful brown, dark brown bag, you know, hands it to me, the receipts in the bag, etc. And thank you for shopping with us. It's been a pleasure, you know, blah, blah, blah. So we leave and I'm just walking through the mall with this new bag, still in shock that I actually have it. And I'm just like on top of the world right now, right? So I ended up carrying that bag almost daily for probably, I would say, a year or two. I want to say my next purchase after that was an Artsy. Now, in between then, I might have had other bags that I carried off and on or purchased. Like I said, I used to love Coach, love Dooney & Bourke. I honestly haven't seen Dooney & Bourke over the last few years. But, I mean, Coach is hot now. Again, like Coach is extremely hot. There's this heart bag I'm debating on. But anyways, so, yeah, get home, love this bag, love on this bag for like days, weeks, months. I mean, loved it. I got so many compliments on it. I mean, we would go places and people would be like, oh, I love your bag. So, I mean, I loved it, right? So then when I got another luxury purse, I would, you know, swap them out, which I'm pretty sure my next purchase was the Artsy. And I'll show you guys that one as well later in the video. So let me go ahead and show you my 17-year-old Poppin' Court haul. So this bag, when it was first purchased, was all untreated vachetta everywhere. And you will see that the condition of the bag, it's tearing, some of the vachetta is tearing, and we'll discuss why in a minute. But it had a zipper on it. And then the end had these two little balls, which back then I want to say it was real brass. And then I had it stuck just for the video, but on the inside, dark brown, it had or has, you know, one pocket, and then like this pocket right here could be used for, I think, sunglasses was the way it was advertised, but just, you know, one hole, you know, one big space, right? So over the years, the purse, you know, darkened. The older it got, the darker the patina on the vachetta got. So if you see here, the if you could see that, but the brass started to tarnish over the years, and there is stuff on the market that people use to shine the brass back up, almost like, you know, when you have dishes or china and you buff out your like silver china, for instance. So I know that there is stuff on the market that people utilize to try to, you know, take away some of the tarnishing, but I've never done anything. Back then, there wasn't a such thing, and if there was, I wasn't aware of it, of like apple guard or any type of water repellent. So I mean, the bag I just carried naturally, nothing sprayed on it, and I mean, this is the color it eventually ended up turning. I tried to be mindful of wearing like lotions on a daily basis, and my hands having like oil on them, but I mean, it was eventually inevitable that the bag would turn. And overall, the purse is still in great condition as far as the canvas. There's no cracking, and the canvas is very thick. The canvas that sold like today, it's not the same canvas. It's not this thick. But there's no cracks in the canvas, no discoloration of the canvas, but the vachetta does have tears in it, and it is completely my fault. Like I said, I was much younger when I got this bag, so I didn't know how to care for it. I mean, I just knew I had this luxury bag that I never thought I would own, and I was excited, but no one really told me how to care for it. And, you know, when I was in the store, the sales associate didn't explain, you know, this is what you need to do over the years. I just knew that it was a bag I could have forever, but didn't really know how to keep it in great shape forever. I do now, but I didn't know that 17 years ago. So when I had this bag stored, so like over the years, once I stopped carrying it, and I haven't carried this bag in like years, probably at least 10 years, I'm assuming, I had it stored folded like this, right, in my closet. Folding it like that created tears, and I'll show you. Do you see that tear? So completely my fault. See that? But the vachetta, where am I at? Sorry guys, has tears in it. And again, it's from how I stored the bag, because I didn't know any better. But if it wasn't for the tears, I mean, I honestly think the vachetta doesn't look terribly bad. I mean, it's definitely dark, right? Very, very dark, but it's not like 1,000% terrible. So if it wasn't for the tears, I probably would feel like comfortable carrying it, but I don't feel comfortable with these tears. So I want to say it was about 3 years ago, we were in Italy at the time. I did take this purse in and have it quoted for being repaired. And my CA, I want to say at the time, she maybe quoted me like 500 or 600 euro, which today the dollar and the euro are like equal, but for 3 years ago, it would probably $500 or 500 euro was probably the equivalent of like close to $600, maybe like 570, maybe even 590, something like that. I wasn't sure what I wanted to do. So this bag is very sentimental to me, right? And I'll have it forever, but I'm not sure I'll ever carry it again. So I didn't know whether I really wanted to invest the money in getting all of the vachetta, so all of this leather you see here, replaced, right? So around the edges, up here, and the zipper would also be replaced. And then I don't think the quote included the brass. I can't remember. I don't believe the quote included the brass. If I wanted the brass replaced, you know, that would be the actual zipper was an additional cost, and then the brass. if I remember correctly. It might have all been included. I'm sorry, I don't remember because I didn't move forward with the quote. So I was like, I'm not really sure I should invest the money because I would only be doing it just to do it, for the bag to just be displayed. But whether or not I'm going to carry it again, I don't know. So that was 3 years ago. Today, if I was to get this bag fixed, meaning all of the vachetta replaced, the brass replaced, and now it's not brass, it's like some type of gold, plated gold or something. And the zipper replaced and all that, it probably cost me $1,000. And that's more than I paid for the purse. So do you see my hesitation? So $500-$600 was almost as much as I paid for the purse. Now I would be paying more than what I paid for the purse. But it's still something I battle with because, like I said, this was my first baby. So I don't know. I don't know if over the next few years I'll get it done or not. I don't know. There are companies out there. I know one is Rago Brothers. I think it's like RAGU or RAGO. I don't know. I'll Google them and leave them in the description box below. But a lot of people will utilize an outside company to redo their bags because, they have no intention on ever selling it. Because if you were to use an outside company and then take it back in the Louis Vuitton store, they won't touch it. So folks that have no desire to ever need to, take the bag back to Louis Vuitton for whatever reason or any reason, they'll use an outside cobbler, almost like a shoe cobbler, to fix the bag or to, replace vachetta, stuff like that. And I mean, some of these companies do a amazing job. I mean, the bag will look like it was done by Louis Vuitton, but it just kind of voids that authenticity of the bag itself. Although the bag is real, when you're letting a third party work on it, the authenticity kind of, gets in question. But I could definitely go that route. Haven't actually quoted with a company like that. I've read different reviews and it kind of seemed like it's pricey still. Not as pricey as Louis Vuitton, but still pricey all the same. So I'm not really sure it's worth it, to be honest. I don't know. So I say all of that to say, for 17 years, I feel like she's still in good condition, considering how I took care of her, or didn't take care of her. So basically this baby right here is about to be an adult. So yeah, what's your oldest purse? I have friends that started buying Louis Vuitton, over the last couple of years. I have friends who, started 10 years ago, 15 years ago. So everyone starts at a different point in their journey. But I'm interested if we could discuss in the comments below, when did you buy your first Louis Vuitton? And do you remember that experience? This is definitely a memory that I will have for a lifetime. I mean, it opened the door to me absolutely loving this brand. And, since these past 17 years, I've bought so many bags. And I mean, each one is special in its own way. And I remember every purchase I've made. I've never bought a pre-loved bag, even in new condition, like from a third party, always from the Louis Vuitton boutique. But I've just never, I guess I've maybe been a little concerned about the authenticity of buying a bag from a reseller or, on the pre-loved market, or whether or not there would be an issue with me truly receiving the bag. Some bags, they're marked up so high because it's really hard to get. So, you're going to pay a significant premium. And I've never been willing to bite that bullet. Like if I didn't get it when it came out, I just do without. That's just me. I just haven't been willing to waste the money to, buy it. There hasn't been anything that I loved that much to, pay a significantly higher price to own. But There are a lot of people that do, and I mean, to each his own. I'm just saying, my opinion, what I have not been willing to do. So this bag, right, no longer sold by Louis Vuitton. Several years ago, they did a remake of this bag and it sold, but as of right now, there's no pop-in court sold by them. So this was the original design that was released in 2005, and maybe in like 2017 possibly there was another rendition of this bag. It looked completely different though, but it had the same name. And I'll try to insert a picture of it so you can see the difference, and I'll put the two side by side. That's like, you can only get it on the pre-love market by a reseller. So I'm going to show you guys my Artsy, and that bag only has, the handle is vachetta. The rest of the bag is just all monogram, coated canvas. So that bag, because it's old too, it's about 15 years old, it has definitely patinaed a lot, and it's moved a lot of times with me and my family. It's been overseas just like this bag has. So I think it's held up, you know, fairly well as well. Again, if I wanted to refresh the bag, I could get the handle replaced, but I honestly don't see the need to. This is the Artsy, and this is the original version. So big tote bag. I love this bag. I mean, I carry this bag religiously. I mean, I still carry it to this day. It has like this, let me turn it around. It has like this charm, this bag charm, and it, the key lock thing says Louis Vuitton, and this is a circle. I think it's actually intended to be a key ring, but I've never used it for that. And on the inside, it's cream, and it's just one big space. This one was made in the US, possibly. I would have to look up the date code. I'm pretty sure it was made in the US, I believe. When I say date code, the older bags, they have a code. Let me show you. Can you see that? So that date code represents the year and month and the location where the bag was produced. Now the bags are microchipped. So on the pop-in cord, it does say made in France. Today, I know if the tab doesn't have a country, that means it's made in the United States. So that's why I said I think the Artsy was made in the United States, but I'm not sure. 15 years ago, they religiously put the country where it was made. So by looking up the date code, it'll tell me where exactly it was produced along with the year and the month. So yeah, so this is the Artsy. And I want to say this was definitely my second Louis Vuitton purchase. So as you can see, I liked bigger bags, right? So we have this one, which was kind of big. And then this one, which was even bigger. But I still, like I said, I still carry my Artsy. I carry it every now and then. It does get very heavy. So this handle is, it's heavy. And so imagine as you put more and more items in the purse, it kills your shoulders. So I carry it every now and then. I mean, I'm much older now, so my back can't take it. So the Artsy now, it has leather trim going around the top, and it's because of a quality issue. So as you can see, there's nothing wrong with my canvas, but this purse was notorious for cracking along here. And so to diffuse that, what Louis Vuitton did was they put a piece of vachetta along the top, you know, to fix the quality issue. Not sure why the purse was cracking at the top. I don't know if it was because of the way it's made, going in and out. I'm not really sure what caused it. I just know that, you know, it was an issue. I mean, in this community, you know, you read purse forums and stuff like that. So I just remember there being a big quality issue with these Artsies for some people. Like I said, it wasn't all, because I didn't have a problem with this bag, but it definitely was an issue for some. So that's my story. and I hope you've enjoyed listening to it. One thing I do want to show you guys before we end the video is I showed you how dark the vachetta has gotten over the years on both purses, but I want to show you what brand new vachetta looks like, or a vachetta that is, you know, newer, that hasn't had any like watermarks or anything like that. So this is the popping cork, right? And this is the Toiletry 26 that we just talked about. If you could see the difference, see how this is very, very light. And I mean, this is not a new toiletry. It's just that I've learned how to care for it over the years. So all of my vachetta nowadays looks like this. Even my older purses, all the vachetta is taken, you know, really good care of. So I had to learn, right? We live and we learn, especially as you get older and you gain wisdom and you learn, you know, that you love luxury items. You learn to take care of them so they'll last you for a very long time. Because this collection I do plan on passing down to my daughters. So I hope you have enjoyed listening me rumble about my very first Louis Vuitton ever. And I hope you enjoyed hearing about how I started the love of this brand 17 years ago. So if you've enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Also, go back and take a look at my previous videos. There's only a few. I've just become very active on this channel again. So feel free to go back, look at those videos, comment as you see fit. I would love to have some dialogue with you guys in the comment section. Thank you so much for joining, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Stay safe out there. Bye.